Hello world, Jacob here. What if I told you that you can control NotebookLM with your favorite chats directly from the chat window on desktop? Yes, and I mean ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini. And how are we going to do it? With two tools. The first one is the NotebookLM MCP that was recently released by yours truly. So thank you for everyone for all the feedback, contribution, issues, and stars, of course. It's been very humbling, so thank you very much. I'm doing continuous updates to this MCP. You can look in for information. There is one version coming. I'm going to release after this video, which is 0.1.9, which I had to fix some issues specific to what we're going to be doing today. So I tested it before this video and I noticed some issues around the authentication with MCP Super MC. It never picked up the new token. As I was working on it, I think I figured out a way to address the annoying authentication issues that last between 10 to 20 minutes and you always need to authenticate. So what I'm going to be doing now, and hopefully that will work, so that's kind of part of the testing, there will be automated authentication happening in the background. So once the MCP detects the authentication expired, it's supposed to run Chrome in headless mode, so you will not see anything and it will run. So there's a lot of protections to ensure that we close the Chrome so we don't leave it in memory. And if you open the Chrome from the first login, it's not going to conflict. So hopefully everything will be fine. So without any delay, let's jump in. So as mentioned, this is the tool we're going to be using today. This is MCP Super Assistant. What it does, it injects MCP elements into the chat UIs of those we've seen here, and it claims to support multiple. Today we're going to try to set this up and show you how to use it. It is usable, but it's not very intuitive, and you'll see that it's a little bit clunky, but it's the closest we have right now for non-desktop apps to allow us to connect to MCP servers. I could connect to the NotebookLM with Cloud Code Desktop or Perplexity Desktop apps because they have built-in support for local MCPs. This one is a little bit different because these are web interfaces. So let's jump in. Let's install. Let's add it to my Chrome. This is actually Comet, but it's Chromium based, so it's the same thing almost. And we are here. If I'm going here, let's see if it works on ChatGPT. Yes, you can see we have the UI and we'll talk about this. And let's refresh Grok. We're in business. And last but not least, oh, we had it already, Gemini. Okay, so on the side, you can see I have a panel where it says it's not connected. I need to run a server. So let's go back. Let's close this. We don't need that anymore. Let's go into the getting started. Kudos to the developer installation. So we installed the Chrome. We're not going to do the developer mode, and we're going to set up the config. So the config, don't worry about this. We're going to use something from my MCP. I'll show you how to do that. And what we need to do is create a config file and run this command after. Okay, let's do that. So I have one of my favorite IDEs. I created a folder for the MCP Super Assistant. I have nothing here, and this is where I'm going to run it, just for organization. So what I'm going to start, I'm going to create a new config.json. That's one. Okay, let's go back into my NotebookLM, and from here, we will grab the example JSON, this one over here. Let's go back into the IDE. Oh, and it says already no, so thank you. Okay, oh, just tab should do it. Awesome, I think we're good. It's automatically saved, and now all we need to do is go back and run the command they told us to run. So I need to run this in a terminal where that config file is. Here's my IDE. Let me open a new terminal. It will open it in this directory so you can see it's here. Go. Crossing fingers. We're in business. Okay, let's go back and see what we see in the UI. Let's start with ChatGPT. Let's refresh this. Great. And as you can see on the right side, we already have 32 tools loaded. And you can see 32 because I just added a new tool to handle the automatic authentication. And if I'll scroll the way down, you can see I have all my tools. So the way to work with this application, you need to educate your chat on how to interact with this MCP interface. And the way to do that, so first of all, let's kind of automate as much as we can. So I'm going to go into the MCP. I'm going to select auto insert, auto submit, and auto execute. Why not, right? You live only once. And if you go down, you'll see in this prompt that it generated when the server loads, it reads the JSON, understands all the tools, and insert the information for the AI. So you need to insert this in every chat, even in the same, based on my test, you need to do it even in consecutive chats. Let's attach it as a file. Close this. So I am in ChatGPT. Let's ask ChatGPT to list all my notebooks. Okay, but before that, let's be proactive. Let me run the authentication command, right? In the future, hopefully, if everything works, we should not see any errors, hopefully. Okay, so the way to do that is NotebookLM MCP Auth. That will open a web browser. It will go to notebooklm.com. It extracts the information it needs automatically, and I'm done. Let's go back. Okay, let's ask it to list all my notebooks. Look at that. Doesn't want to work. Lazy. Oh, look at that. It doesn't work with it. I didn't try it before, so I guess it's not working. Let's do a quick test with Grok. Okay, Grok, don't fail us. Okay, we got everything. Let's attach the file. Please list all my notebook LMs. Okay, so it's less complaining, obviously. And it should run. It should auto attach. I should not be doing anything. And so, yes. Oh, it returned. It's just the format. I was not expecting that type of format. Perfect. So it can detect I have the NVIDIA Rubin, which is their latest platform they announced in CES. Let's try to see if we can ask Grok. We're going to run a fast research on NVIDIA Rubin and add all the sources. So let's see if it works. So I'm going to, again, attach the instructions. Can you please run a fast web research on NVIDIA Rubin Notebook LM? And once it's done, import all sources. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Okay, you're not doing anything. Let's use a smarter model. I think it's just too stupid. Can you run a fast research on NVIDIA Rubin in the notebook LM called NVIDIA Rubin? Use the MCP tools to execute this task. Okay, let's see if the expert can do that. Okay, there we go. I knew it's the model. It's going to run. I don't need to do anything. And it should be running. So if we go back into the Notebook LM and click on this, we just had a completed fast research. Okay, that's good. So now if we go back into Grok, and now it needs to insert. Oh, it's checking the status. Yes. And I reach my limits. That's what happens when you do, free. But I was able to show you that it actually executed the instructions and it did create. It just checked on the status, but sadly, it was not able to do that. Let's try Gemini now. So as you know with Gemini, at least for query, for pro users, there is the ability to attach notebook LMs. And you can see the Rubin one I had. You can actually select multiple and ask them questions. This is really cool. And that, by the way, that was one of the features when Google introduced that inspired me to think of an MCP, because I said, if they can do that, that means they can connect from one end to another to the notebook LM. So they have some sort of an interface to do that. So I figured they have hidden API calls that they use in the backend. So I said, let's try to see if we can find out what they are. That's awesome. But for the end-to-end management of the notebook LM, you still need to do something. So let's do again the config. Let's attach. And let's try to tell it the instructions. So I have this notebook LM called NVIDIA Rubin, which I just ran a fast web search. I need you to check the status of this notebook LM, see if the research is done, and then import all sources. asked a lot from it, by the way. So let's use thinking. I think thinking should be better. And let's see. Doing the list. And as you can see, it's not running this automatically. So I'm just going to click on it. And there we go. We're getting the response. I hope it will auto insert. That's awesome. And now it identified the ID. And now it's going to check the status of the research and insert it. There we go. And it seems that it knows it's completed. And now it will run the command to import. So now what happens in the background, if I'll go back into my notebook here and refresh the page, I should see all the sources being added. And this will disappear once all sources are added, because that's the confirmation from the RPC that it worked. So yes, it works. If you have paid Grok, you might be able to get more. With free ones, it will run out. It was interesting enough that ChatGPT was very lazy. He did not want to do it. Let's give it another shot. Like I'm probably getting like really stupid models. So you can see it's really critical that you pick the right models, the smarter ones, because they need to be able to understand how to leverage the tools. So let's give it one more time. Come on, you can do it. Come on. This is one of the reasons I barely use ChatGPT, to be honest. Like, kudos for them for starting the AI revolution, but over time, I found myself using them less and less. I spend most of my time with other AIs, for example, Claude and Gemini and Grok, and of course, I hit my quota. So yeah, let me try one more thing. I'm gonna try to log in with a paid account, and let's see if I'm selecting 5.2. I can get it. So don't go anywhere. I'm just going to pause this and try it out. Okay, so I'm in a different paid account for ChatGPT. And let's see if this works. So I'm in incognito mode and I have everything connected. Let's give it another shot. And I'm using 5.2. Let's do auto. Hopefully it will pick the right one. So I'm going to, let's see, configure. Let's do everything auto, attach, and let's see if it works. Can you please identify a NotebookLM called NVIDIA Rubin in my NotebookLM, and then run a simple infographic? Come on, last chance, ChatGPT. Don't fail us. There we go. There we go. Good progress. So it's running automatically. It's inserting this. And let's see. So it ran the MCP list. So it identified the notebook. And let's see what we get from function. Yeah, got 30. Found it. Next, I'm going to generate a simple infographic inside the notebook. That's good. Yes, it's using the right tool. So if we quickly rush into, we don't need to rush, we can take it easy. If we go into over here, yeah, you can do your thing. What is doing the next command is the create. Okay. So if we go back, there we go. And we have the infographic installed. So the good news is, if you're a paid subscriber of ChatGPT, this will work. You saw I asked it to do multiple things, list my notebooks, and then identify the right one, and then create an infographic. So it works. And you noticed I also kind of worked for at least 20 minutes. I'm probably going to cut this down for a shorter video. I didn't see any expiration. Everything works. So my assumption, and obviously you will let me know after I publish this new update to the NotebookLM MCP, if the silent re-authentication mechanism works for you. So that's all I had for you today. Hopefully you found this insightful and useful. This is super easy, I think, for most users. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So thank you very much, everyone.